What a weekend it's been for competitive Pokemon. The Sacramento Regionals brought us some incredible battles, wild team compositions, and of course, a champion crowned in Carson Confer. Today we're diving into everything from the trends dominating the meta, the top performing teams, and Carson's incredible victory over Joseph Ugarte in the finals. Over a week before the Sacramento Regionals, Marco Silva took the Latin American International Championships by storm with his own Sun team, proving its dominance yet again after previously securing a finalist spot at a European regional. It's shown that Sun teams has been a force to reckon with in Regulation H. Now, this past weekend, with 590 players competing at Sacramento Regionals, the stage was set for North America circuit to showcase its take on the meta. But how did things shake out, and did Sun teams continue their dominance? Let's dive into the stats. On day one, Sneasler topped the charts with a 41.9 usage rate. Its synergy with Psychic Seed and Unburden really makes it a terrifying offensive and speed control option in Regulation H, as well as having a Focus Sash so you can have quick options to dish out amazing attacks like Close Combat and Dire Claw, truly making Sneasler one of the most used Pokemon in this regulation. But Sneasler isn't the only Pokemon that had some notable stat usage in day one. Rillaboom, Incineroar, and Dragonite continue to define the meta with strong utility and offensive pressure. Dragonite being able to use Scale Shot, getting the speed boost needed to outspeed certain threats, and giving incredible knockouts when needed be. Incineroar obviously pivoting in and out. Parting Shot intimidates cycles. Rillaboom changing the terrain with strong fake out pressure. Meanwhile, Ursaluna Blood Moon made its presence known as a top tier threat, offering unmatched bulk and power with his signature move Blood Moon. Now, as we transitioned into day two, we saw significant shifts. Sneasler usage skyrocketed over 50%, while support staples like Incineroar and Amoonguss saw increases as well. The rise of Amoonguss in particular highlights how players countered hyper-offensive teams with Redirection and Spore. Here are the top performing teams from this past weekend in Sacramento. As you can see, versatility was the name of the game, but certain cores did stand out. Now let's talk about more of the championship winning team that Carson had. His team was a masterclass in balance and synergy. From Sneasler's blazing speed with Unburden to Ursaluna's devastating Blood Moon attacks with Hyper Voice. Every Pokemon on that team had a defined role. Talonflame provided tailwind support, while Electabuzz had offered unique support through Follow Me and Electroweb, as well as Vital Spirit not being able to be spored with that ability. This is such a great team. I know this team is I want to say this is a take on a Japanese team that was used early in the regulation, but a lot of standouts on this team is Sneasler with Psychic Seed for Unburdened Speed. Another breakdown is the fact that Blood Moon Ursaluna's Mind Eye ability obviously hitting Ghost, so you're able to take down big offensive threats like Golden Go, like Basque Legion. You're able to stop Incineroars that had Terra Ghost, or Ursaluna's normal Ursaluna Hisuian that has Terra Ghost as well. You're able to shut down a lot of offensive pressure. Now again, with Indeedee Male, this is its second regional championship this season. This mon is actually good. We need to talk about Indeedee Male more often. But again, paired with Indeedee Male, Sneasler with Psychic Seed, you already get a special defense boost on top of having Unburdened speed boost. Indeedee, a lot of people pair Indeedee Male with Choice Scarf, but I see Carson said, hey, I don't need to have speed. I just need Indeedee to live hits. It has a Focus Sash, it has Helping Hand, it has Protecting Trick Room to try to reverse a lot of Trick Room setters. Now let's look on the other side of the finals. Joe Ugarte brought his powerhouse Sun team. Obviously, we know Joe, he is obviously a two-time regional champion in his own right, and he's been true and true with his King Gambit as well as Jumpluff and Torkoal, basically writing the game on how to play Sun. Basically, with his Torkoal eject pact, you basically get an overheat and you're able to get out with lowering your special attack and basically re-pivoting how you want your board position. This is masterclass by Joe, man. Joe Ugarte is such a talented player. He has Jumpluff with chlorophyll ability in the Sun. You double your speed, and one amazing thing about this Jumpluff is the sleep powder. Sleep powder being on this mon just makes it completely deadly. He had hit every sleep powder, it seemed like, in this game. People on Twitter were talking about how accurate sleep powder is over so many other moves. Like, this is an insane sleep Jumpluff, man. I would not be surprised if we got a distribution of Joe Ugarte's Jumpluff in the near future. Now, I want to say one vast difference between Marco Silva and Joe Ugarte's Sun team is Typhlosion Hisuian form. And Joe's Typhlosion is not running Choice Scarf, but it is running Choice Specs. It has an Eruption, Shadow Ball, Heat Wave, and Overheat. And the powerful thing about Torkoal being ejected, let's say if an Incineroar had Intimidate or if it did use Overheat, I think ideally you want the slow pivot with the eject pack, so that way you can have the slow bring in to a Typhlosion and it has a safe bring in. But also there's nothing wrong if you have Incineroar that intimidates your Torkoal, lowering your attack stack, and your eject packed out. You're bringing Typhlosion in, so that way it's at the start of the battle with Sun, Eruption damage as well. Honestly, this team is so versatile and it's so mind-blowing how next level this team is. And then plus, if you have enough chip damage, mons like King Gambit can finish off, mons like Garchomp can finish off. This is such a strong offensive powerhouse of a team. You would think it's so simple, but this team is so good. Like, well done by Joe, man. I can't say it enough. This is such a monster of a team. Now let's talk about the finals match. The championship match honestly was a nail biter going to game 3. Carson's strategy revolved around maintaining speed control with Talonflame's Tailwind and Sneasler's incredible Unburdened setup through Psychic Seed with Indeedee. Meanwhile, Joe relied on Jumpluff's Tailwind and Disruption through Sleep Powder to keep Carson on the back foot, and boy was it chaotic. Now, Carson had a strong game 1 taking that set, but Joe came with a commanding game 2, and one key game moment in that game 2 was when Carson was left with Sneasler and Indeedee double protecting, but Joe, knowing as the veteran that he is, he went ahead and Ice Spinnered his own Jumpluff to not only give it a free switch into Torkoal, but he also took away the Psychic Terrain, so that way there's no stopping priority, as well as being able to stop Expanding Force. What a pro move by Joe Ugarte. The turning point in the game came when Carson was able to get a Will-O-Wisp on Joe's Dragonite, mitigating its damage output from Scale Shot, but also getting a dual Wing Beat into the Dragonite. We can get low enough so that way it can be knocked out by Incineroar's knockoff. But also, Joe tried to get a play by making sure that Encore was on Incineroar for knockoff purposes, but the thing is, it backfired when Joe got knocked off into the Hisuian Typhlosion, knocking off its choice specs and giving Carson the KO and bringing Joe's Pokemon advantage down to one Pokemon only, and making Carson the Sacramento Regional Pokemon Champion. And it was all about managing resources and playing patiently from Carson. Honestly, Sacramento, it really showed us that Regulation H meta is still evolving, even though Regulation G is around the corner. But Teams like Carson's really do blend in balance, creativity, as well as having that foot on the gas when need be, while others like Joe's Sun team is tried and true, but also is no game to be played, especially when those sleep powders hit. With Regulation H ending soon and Regulation G returning, it will be really fascinating to see how teams will adapt. Will Pokemon like Sneasler and Melendidi be able to join Regulation G and add to its already offensive powers? Will Pokemon like Iron Hands and Fluttermane dominate the meta again, or will new surprises shake up the meta? What do you think about Carson's team and the Sacramento regional meta currently going on? Do you think Sun Team is the strongest weather teams in the format, or is it rain or some other weather? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And again, if you enjoyed this video and this breakdown of the regional championships, make sure you go ahead, leave a like, and subscribe for more competitive Pokemon content so you never miss a video. But again, trainers, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.